All right, man, peace. So I did a video a couple of weeks ago pertaining to the Matt Barnes, Derek Fisher, Gloria Govan relationship love triangle situation called Can You Be Replaced? And I touched on a series of issues pertaining to the so-called black man and how you should view a situation like that should you find yourself in it. Once again, brothers, we have to understand that we're behind enemy lines. We're in captivity. Nothing that's here is yours unless it's contractually obligated to be yours, and that's only if it's inorganic. What do I mean by that? Even in the flesh, you can sign a marriage contract with a female. She can still do whatever the hell she wants to do, and then file divorce proceedings or claim that you were not good to her or that you were verbally abusive or things of that nature. Once again, that's why you have the parameters for divorce known as irreconcilable differences. That's basically just a female saying that she does not feel like being with you anymore. I say all that to say this: you cannot get caught up in anything in the flesh. I had a couple of brothers, one brother in particular, make a comment stating that he had an issue with me saying that Derek Fisher and Gloria Govan look good together. Well, they did look good together. Not only physically, but spiritually. Once again, on my channel, I tell you brothers this all the time. When a negative female is with a negative dude, that's for a reason. Can two walk together unless they be in agreement? That's not just about your friends. That's also about lovers. They have to have some type of commonality spiritually to walk together. Let them go. A lot of cats get over righteous. They want to pull a bunch of precepts out of the Bible. I say this all the time, especially about a lot of these cats that find themselves in these camps, what they call Israelite camps. It's easy to beat people over the head with precepts, but do you understand the concepts of the Bible? Do you understand the context? Do you know where you're at as opposed to what the scriptures are talking about? Because everything in the scriptures is relating to time period. If you don't understand how the scriptures relate to the time period that you're in, you're just somebody just talking. And a lot of brothers get caught up in that mentality where they're just talking. And this is a pro-truth channel. This is a reality channel. I tell brothers what they need to hear, not what you'd like to be true. Sorry, but that doesn't fly with me. The scriptures are meant to show us how things were at one time, how they're meant to be, how they are now, and how they will be. And you have to grasp all those things in context, or you're going to lose your mind. And I've seen it before. I've seen a lot of over-righteous dudes lose their minds over females because they thought that they could control a woman. Once again, brothers, contractual marriage is not marriage. Okay? Contractual marriage is not marriage. All that is a signifier that the corporation known as John Smith merged with the corporation known as Jane Doe, now known as Jane Smith. You came together, your corporations bonded. That's all that means. It has nothing to do with the scriptural marriage, but I don't know what a lot of these guys are getting taught in their quote-unquote camps. That's why I state, understand Bible concepts even more than Bible precepts, because anybody can throw precepts around. All right? Very, very, very important. Why do I touch on that? Because if you're in a relationship with a so-called female and she decides that she does not want to be with you, are you mature enough to understand that nothing in the flesh is permanent? Or are you going to be one of those guys texting her 100 texts a day talking about, I can't believe you did this, and 1 Corinthians 7 says this, and this verse says that, and you're going to be one of those guys? Brothers, we have to hover above a lot of this. That's how you're going to maintain your mental balance, your mental stability in these last days. A lot of these females that you think are so important, they're going to fall by the wayside. When all hell breaks loose out here, a lot of these females are going to lose their minds. You have to be stable-minded so that the females that the Most High wants you to have, you'll be able to lead them somewhere. You can't get caught up in the hijinks of the woman. And this segment here is going to display the hijinks of the modern liberal woman. Let me specify, not the woman, the liberal woman. I try to make those distinctions because there are exceptions to the rule. There are good females out there. You just have to be able to find one. But first, you have to be a good person yourself. All right. Once again, this channel is not about the gender war. It's also not about simpism. This is a no simp zone. If you are a simp, I'm going to ask you to leave. Why is that? Because all a simp is a double agent. That's a weak ass dude trying to appeal to modern liberal females. That's all he is. And a perpetual side dude. I don't have time for dumb shit. But anyway, let's see what they have to say here.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Evan here with Van and Michael J. Babcock.
What up?
It seems like the truce between Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher is over. Derek Fisher and Gloria Govan got engaged a couple of weeks ago, and after they got engaged, everybody wanted to know what Matt Barnes thought, because remember, Gloria Govan is the mother of their 2 children, and also that was the reason that...
Once again, there never was a truce, because you had 2 males fighting over this female. Let me say this, brothers, and I may have mentioned this in a previous video a long time ago. You never fight over a woman. You fight for your woman. You don't fight over a woman. If you're walking down the street with your woman and somebody jumps out from an alley or from around the corner trying to mug you and her, of course, you have to stand in between your woman and that man, and you have to defend your woman. You have to defend yourself. The scriptures tell you that you have to love your wife like Christ did the church and be ready to give your life. That's once you've vetted that woman and you understand that she's actually worth fighting over or fighting for, pardon me. But when I say you never fight over a woman, I mean if your female or the female that you're associating with is not sure about whether she wants to be with you or the next guy, you tell her, have a nice day, enjoy your time period with the next guy. Make it very easy for her. Make the decision for her. Because once you allow yourself to fall into that paradigm of a love triangle, all you're doing is emasculating yourself. That's all you're doing. And the woman is going to lose more and more respect for you, if she ever had any respect to begin with. Okay? You never, ever, ever fight over a woman. That makes no sense. If that woman is yours, she's not going to put you in the position where you have to fight over her. She's going to tell that next man who's trying to offer himself to her that I'm taken. All right? Please don't become one of them guys texting some bitch all day. I can't believe this. How could you do this to me? I thought we were going to be this and going to be that. You have to put the Most High first. As I tell you, brothers, every day the woman is on lifetime probation in this society. With how they're trained and how they're prepped, she's on lifetime probation. Okay? Because she's never held accountable for her actions. So when you combine that with the natural, whimsical, capricious nature of the woman, you never know what's coming tomorrow. In order for you to maintain your stability, you have to have your mind on higher things, on celestial things, not terrestrial things.
That Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher fought a couple of years ago. Remember that?
Yeah, he drove down there and took that 90-mile drive and put some on that.
That's right, because Matt was...
Yeah, he made a complete ass of himself. 2 grown-ass men pushing 40 fighting over a damn whore of Babylon. That's all they was doing. Why is that? Because Matt Barnes actually thought that that was his woman. That was not your woman. All she was a chapter in the book on your life. That's all. Brothers, our lives are nothing but books that we write every day. Every day is a page in our book of life. That's all it is. Every day is a page in our book of life. And every person that we come across who maintains themselves for a certain period of time in our life is just a chapter in that book. And certain chapters come to an end. That's how it goes. Now, you would hope that the Most High sends someone to you that can last for a lifetime. That's wonderful. That's a blessing. But that's not something that's guaranteed in a society that's governed on Thelema. Okay? Once again, Thelema is do what thou wilt. That is Aleister Crowley's credo, based off of what he claims he was dictated to by Aiwass, who he states is the steward of Heru. This society operates under the energy of Thelema. Please understand that. Once again, there are males all over America eating out of garbage cans because they thought that some bitch was going to be with them for a lifetime. That's nonsense. The only thing that's going to be with you for a lifetime is the Most High and the wisdom that you gain from him. That is it. Okay? Everything else is a bonus. Your job may end, your relationship may end, your family members may pass, your friends may leave you. The only thing that's going to be with you for a lifetime is the Most High. Please understand that. So, to make a long story short, these women come and go. And again, there are good women out there. Hopefully the Most High will send you 1 or 2 or 3. And you can enjoy those fruits. You can enjoy that vintage. That's wonderful. That's a blessing. But what if he doesn't? You still have to live your life. And you cannot invest yourself in the fleshly things, man. I'm just telling you. You cannot ever, ever, ever give your soul over to anything fleshly. All it leads to is catastrophe. Every tragedy that's ever been written by any playwright is based off of a man giving his soul over to the female. And I don't care what it is. Every great tragedy that you can think of is always based on that, from Othello on down, at least in regards to relationships. So please grasp that.
Was upset that his former teammate and friend Derek Fisher was dating the mother of his child.
That dude was never his friend. That was his teammate. That's why I state once again, they look good together. They look good together, and that is by no means to absolve Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes is another 40-year-old who has the maturity level of a 21-year-old. He was never taught anything as a boy by his father. Read up on Matt Barnes. His father was a degenerate. That's why he has so many issues now. That's why I always put the onus on the so-called black man to make sure that he has his shit together before he gets with the woman. And use your scruples when you're picking these women, because that's who you're going to procreate with. You have to put good seed in good soil. If you put good seed in defiled soil, the plant is going to be a degenerate plant. Bottom line. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So do these two look good together? Yes, they do. They're both degenerates. It is what it is. People may get mad at that. I'm sorry, bro. We're not in ancient Israel 1000 BC. Okay? Because if we really want to talk about what should be done to these two according to Scripture, Matt Barnes is supposed to stone the both of them according to Scripture. But we have to understand that we're not in the time of the strict enforcement of biblical law. Okay? We're in the time of the night period where no man could work. Christ tells you that himself in John, the 9th chapter, in the 4th verse. You have to have a higher level understanding of things based off of where you're at. When you're in prison, you're not going to get to live out the benefits of a beautiful world and a successful life. When you're in prison, you're going to have to deal with what you're dealt. You're going to have to deal with the cards that are dealt to you. Of course, you still have your mind on the Most High and the concepts and the precepts of the Scriptures, but you have to know where you're at, man. A lot of these guys, they learn the Bible for a few months and all of a sudden they're Moses. They got a 2-foot-long beard and 10,000 fringes on their garment, and all of a sudden, well, the Scripture says this and the law says that. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Make sure that you have the conceptual understanding of the Bible and how it applies to your life today before you run around trying to hit people over the head with precepts. That's why so many so-called black men of different belief systems come to my channel, because I try to communicate concepts, not precepts. Nobody's perfect in this life. Nobody. I don't give a damn who you are. But you have to be given certain understanding on how to survive in this society where they want to see the so-called black man destroyed. Okay? It's not about a 12 tribes chart and trying to act super militant and zealous and all that other nonsense. A lot of those guys are pretenders. And I say that with all due respect, because I have love for all brothers, but a lot of brothers have to try to grasp the concepts of the Bible before they try to throw around precepts.
So over the last couple of years, the relationship has gotten better from the violent standpoint, right? Like there hasn't been any attacks on that. And everybody wanted to know what Matt thought when Derek Fisher finally proposed, and she said yes. Well, Matt made it seem...
There he goes, bowing down, getting down on one knee to the mother goddess. She's standing in for the mother goddess. For those of you brothers who don't know, when you get down on one knee to the woman, that's to show your obeisance to the mother goddess. That's all it's for. That's why you give her the diamond ring. The diamond ring, or the diamond, was the favorite jewel of Venus or Aphrodite or Ishtar, whatever you want to call her, the goddess of love. Okay? That's why you put that ring on the quote-unquote ring finger. The people of Kemet believe that there was an artery leading from the ring finger all the way directly to the heart. They worship the heart as the anthropomorphic version of the sun, of Ra. Okay? That's how they worshipped it. The Babylonians called the heart Bel, B-E-L. It was meant to be a coded allusion to Cush, who was known as Bel, the confounder. Read about that in Isaiah, the 46th chapter, and the 1st verse. Also in Jeremiah, I believe, the 50th chapter, where it tells you about Bel, the confounder. Also tells you about Nebo. The term Nebo means prophet. That's all talking about Cush. Okay? So when you read about Cush in Genesis, the 10th chapter, that was a man who, you know, as cats would say, rang bells. He was a very important person in the ancient world. He was the person who set up a lot of the rituals of the Babylonian Kemetic mystery school system. Please understand that all these rituals and these rites and practices, they have an origin, they have a 0 point. So it's relevant to note where they come from because they all have spiritual underpinnings.
It seemed like everything was kind of going in the right direction. He said, look, I wish them the best. My kids like him, so I like them. We talk a lot about the kids. We have conversations, and I wish them nothing but the best.
And all that's bullshit. Matt Barnes, you're in the past. She hates you. If she could, she would make the kids hate you too. If the kids turned to her one day and said, Mommy, we don't want to spend any more time with Daddy, that would be great in her mind so that she could fully exercise you from their spiritual unit, their spiritual family unit. They do not want you around, Matt Barnes. You can get on TV. You can give as many interviews as you want trying to act as if you're quote-unquote co-parenting with Gloria Govan and Derek Fisher. He has abducted your quote-unquote family because that's not even yours in this society. It is not. All right, so-called black men, in this society, you have to be a mental, a psychological, a spiritual pilgrim. That has to be your mindset because at any moment, the people that you think are running alongside you or are associated with you or affiliated with you, they could pull the rug out from underneath you. They could disconnect from you. What are you going to do then? You're going to have a mental breakdown? You're going to kill everybody, kill yourself? To be forewarned is to be forearmed.
Well, that was Matt's side of the story because we saw Gloria over the weekend and asked her, how do you feel about Matt? How are things between Matt and Derek? And she basically blew up everything you thought you knew. Take a look.
Is Matt, your ex, going to be there?
That's funny, guys. Absolutely not.
Really?
No way. No way.
And why is he not going to be there?
Yeah, I just think that's awkward. Like Derek's ex is not going to be there. Matt won't be there. I just think that's a little, that's just far-fetched.
It's an awkward thing.
Yeah, it's really awkward. Like, so.
So it's not that copacetic.
And to be quite frank with you, I don't blame her. If she's about to engage in a fallacious pagan ritual known as modern-day wedding or modern-day marriage ceremony, why should she want her old man there? All it's going to do is create more confusion in her mind. Once again, brothers, let me say this. If you've been with a woman, or you're with a woman, I should say, and she's been with 25 dudes, she has the spirit of 25 men on her. Every time a man penetrates a woman, he leaves his spirit within her. That's why a lot of times you have so many problems with these females. That's why I state it takes you a very long time to get to know a woman. Okay? That's really what a wife is. On the night of your wedding, you break her hymen. The breaking of the hymen or the blood, that represents the sealing of the contract. Okay, that's what a wife is. A lot of these guys who want to mishmash scriptural concepts or precepts because they don't really even understand what they're talking about, they'll try to act like the chick that they're dealing with right now because she acts like she's listening to them teach the Bible. Oh, that's my wife. Bro, that's not your wife. That's just your consort for now. Okay? That's all that is. These females today in this society, they're taught to be whores. They're living under the energy, the spiritual energy of the mother of harlots. Okay, the whore of Babylon. All these females in this society, they're living under that energy. Am I saying that every last female in this society is a whore? No, I'm not saying that. They're not all harlots and whores, but they're being raised up in this environment. When you plant 100 seeds in a defiled field, may you have 1 or 2 plants that are not defiled? Of course. They're going to be miracles. But 97, 98, 99 of those plants, they're going to grow to be degenerate plants because of the ground that they were planted in. And that's the bottom line of it. Okay? So when you deal with these females, not necessarily have to get into their sexual history or their business or anything like that, but you have to understand that they've been dealt with, they've been used. And not only have they had sexual experiences before you, they've also had a lot of emotional experiences between them and a man before you that is going to resonate in your attempt at a relationship with her. Okay? That is why, once again, and in all indigenous aboriginal cultures, people of color, they understand this, that your wife is supposed to be a virgin on your wedding night. It's only here in America where the so-called American black man believes that his woman could have slept with everybody in the building, everybody in the projects, and it's okay because she's a down-ass bitch. That's how dumb the Americanized black man has become.
No.
As he made it seem on Twitter.
Absolutely not.
Really?
No. Yeah, I mean, him and Derek aren't cool. They're cordial because,
Oh, they're not cool. There's still some beef?
I wouldn't say beef, but they're just not, like, they don't talk every week. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
That was her way of refuting Matt Barnes' statements about how they talk all the time. Please understand that she is, quote-unquote, over him, as they say. That means that they've done so much psychological damage to one another, most likely because they got together for the wrong reasons in the first place. Remember, she's a reality TV show star, so she was most likely trying to use him as an affiliate to gain some acclaim for herself. Very similar to the situation with Chris Brown and what's that little Vietnamese or Cambodian girl's name that like a little boy? Cockroach, whatever her name is. Same thing. Just using the man for a little bit of fame. That's most likely what she was trying to use Matt Barnes for a come up. And who knows, maybe he was trying to use her as well. Who knows? Point being is this, she's done with him, so he needs to stop trying to act as if he's inserted somewhere in their life in a cordial way, because she wants him out totally. He's been replaced. That's what this series is about. He's been replaced. I don't care what you'd like to be true. I live in the real world. And brothers have to understand the potentialities for that, so that you can avoid disaster, so that you can avoid depression, so that you can avoid suicide, so that you can avoid doing something calamitous, trying to kill the woman, kill the kids, kill yourself. You read about this in the newspaper every day, on the internet every day. And it's because a lot of these young men are not prepped properly. They're raised to believe that they're supposed to quote unquote fall in love with a woman. And that's why these disasters happen.
Maybe he'll send you a gift.
No, hopefully not. Yeah, I will throw that gift away.
You'll throw
Yeah,
a gift
absolutely,
away.
absolutely. I will not. There's no way in America.
What?
Hey, what she said? She said there's no way in America that man is coming to the wedding. So expect Matt Barnes to try to crash the wedding. That motherfucker gonna crash the wedding in a bow tie and a pair of black slacks and nothing else on. He gonna look like a damn Chippendale stripper.
What?
Is not a good situation.
Not at all. She made it seem like, number one, this whole them communicating back and forth isn't happening.
Right.
And number two,
liar.
that they still hate him.
Yeah.
So to me, that's why I took.
Of course they hate him, because he's trying to ruin what they have planned. He's trying to ruin what they have planned. Matt Barnes don't know this, but Derek Fisher was probably popping his woman back when Matt and her were still married. You think he just popped up out of nowhere? Like, come on. Read about Derek Fisher. That man was trying to screw all the players on the Knicks' girlfriends. That's what this guy was trying to do. So if he was doing that with the Knicks as the coach, can you imagine what he was doing as a Laker or member of the Utah Jazz? Like, come on. So all you have to do is sit back and wait, because situations like that normally don't end well. Remember, about 8 or 9 months ago, maybe a year ago, Derek Fisher was driving in a car with Gloria Govan and their car flipped over. That's what I mean when I say just leave it alone. Don't be one of them guys texting some broad 500 times a day, trying to send her scriptures and all this nonsense. Oh, I can't believe that the Most High don't like it. Just leave it alone. The Lord will get them back. That's all. When you read about their car flipping over 500 times, and you'll know that's judgment.
Took away.
Also, if he's going to send you a gift, don't throw the gift in the trash.
Well, at least look at it first.
I mean,
Maybe
the,
it's
gift,
something good.
the fact that he's sending you a gift, to me, is like not exactly an olive branch, but it's a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
I feel for Matt.
Well, is it really a step in the right direction? I don't blame her for being suspicious. Matt Barnes does not come off to me as a particularly mature dude. He's not someone who comes off to me as a person who has an ability to let bygones be bygones. And there's not necessarily that much wrong with that. Sometimes you have to remember what people have done to you so that they don't do it again. It depends on your ability to discern what type of person you're dealing with. If you know that the person that you're dealing with is a repeat offender, then yeah, you have to remember what they did before. But sometimes you do have to know how to let things go, put them to the side, and you might not fuck with that person to the level that you once did, but you can still be reasonable and humane. But it is what it is. It's all up to Matt Barnes. I just used this story as an end sample for what can happen in real life, in the real world, okay? Not in the fictional world where brothers still think that they're living in 1000 BC in Israel, okay? Because that's not real, right? Or 1000 BC in Kemet, or 1000 BC in America. If you're one of those cats that's heavily, deeply into the Aboriginal Blacks of America ideology, which is true, by the way. Of course, the original people of America were so-called black, but you have people who take on these ideologies and They just believe that it's the be-all, end-all, as opposed to understanding where they're at right now as well. We have to live our lives with proper context. You know what I'm saying? So if you're one of those people who still think that you're back in the ancient world and things are supposed to be now how they were back then, good luck to you.
Matt Barnes here.
You shouldn't reject that. You should accept that and build off that, and hope that we can build something together instead of saying it's going in the garbage and setting it on fire.
Unless you get the gift and you have it's in the box and you hear it ticking.
Yeah,
Right.
that's no
If
good.
that's the
Yeah,
case,
that-
throw it away
that's-
fast.
Or you open it up and just a bunch of white powder comes out.
If that's the case, then you gotta chuck the gift. You know,
It's very Unabomber-ish.
what happens between these three?
Now look at those two. Let me rewind it back a little bit.
These three. The gift. You know,
It's very Unabomber.
Look at them. They look like they're in their honeymoon phase. All right. Once again, they look great together. Just like two serial killers will look great together. Two degenerates will look great together. These are two people who have no real regard for the repercussions of their decisions. Let them go. It's okay. Brothers, you can't win every battle, man. Sometimes you got to take a L. Makes you a better person in life. All right, take that L. Ali took 5 L's in his career. Michael Jordan took a bunch of L's. Floyd Mayweather never took an L in the ring, but he took a lot out of the ring. It's a part of life. Sometimes taking an L in the short term ends up being a big W in the long term.
Bomber-ish.
what happens between these three? Are they going to get
Matt Barnes needs to whoop his ass again.
I think it's headed Matt.
Oh boy, no, Matt Barnes don't need to whoop his ass again. He already got one. Leave it alone. Let the Lord whoop his ass this time.
Headed in that direction. It
Honestly.
sounds like a fight is brewing.
He extended the olive branch and now they throw it right back in his
Crushed it up
face.
and
Did he really extend the olive branch, or is he just trying to play a certain role for the media? He knows that they're going to ask him about Gloria Govan marrying Derek Fisher. Does he want to come off still as the bitter guy 2 years down the line? I believe that is what Miss Gloria Govan is stating as well when she said that she does not trust Matt Barnes. She would never allow him or invite him to the wedding. I don't blame her. And if you're Matt Barnes, why would you want to go to that wedding for? Why would you want to do that? I mean, give me a break.
put it in a drink.
But anyway, once again, brothers, please understand the importance of knowing that life only goes forward, it doesn't go back. I'm not saying that you're not going to have falling outs with people and then make up with them. Of course, that could happen. That could happen with family. It could happen with friends. It could happen with significant others, lovers, wives, whatever you want to call them. But please understand that if the falling out is major enough, it happened for a reason, and it will most likely happen again, especially if it's a sign of an explosion based off of personality or spiritual differences. A lot of times people do not take the time that is necessary to get to know one another. You meet these women. If you find they're always in a rush to move upward and onward to the next level and the next level and the next level, quote unquote, in a relationship, that's a major, major, major red flag. All right? But anyway, peace.